Dawn breaks over the river docks, where free black workers gather silently. Hands exchange coins quickly. Eyes scanning patrols along muddy streets. A bell rings nearby, marking labor hours, enforced by armed overseers. A woman folds a letter, sealing hope inside wax and trembling fingers. A man counts wages twice, knowing mistakes cost lives and futures. News spreads through kitchens, churches, barbershops, whispered between careful breaths. A family can be bought, the price posted by an agent. Shock settles first, then calculation, then fear of impossible sums. Faces harden as people measure years of labor against human time. A preacher lowers his voice, mapping routes around informants and watchmen. Meetings form after dark, doors barred, windows draped, candles burning low. Men and women argue about numbers, timing, and who carries cash safely. Alita sketches plans using chalk, erased quickly between knocks. Arana listens at the door, counting boots crossing outside. Silence follows each plan, broken by children. Coughing nearby, Nelder speaks of contracts, bills of sale and signatures demanded coldly. Others warn of traps, inflated prices, and sudden seizures by sheriffs. A woman volunteers first, offering savings hidden beneath floorboards. Another offers skills, laundering money through trusted shops. They agree on rules, consequences, and silence. Under questioning, crowds swell at church, hymns masking urgent exchanges. Enslaved relatives wait outside town limits, watching smoke rise. A messenger slips away, carrying coded notes sewn into coats. Patrolmen glare from corners, rifles resting casually against their hips. A child drops a coin, freezes, then retrieves it quickly. The first negotiation begins at a plantation gate before noon. A free man approaches alone, hat lowered, posture deliberately submissive. An overseer blocks the path, demanding permits and reasons. The man produces papers, hands shaking, voice steady enough. A ledger opens. Prices recited like livestock weights. Inside, enslaved families work nearby, pretending not to listen. Eyes meet briefly, then break, fear sharpening every breath. The price doubles without explanation. Ink scratching finality. The man nods, agrees, and leaves with time bleeding away. Behind him, a door slams, laughter following. Back in town, the group recalculates under mounting pressure. Take hood food sell furniture, and take night shifts, hauling cargo. Women sew through nights. Needles flashing like quiet weapons. Children learn to watch the streets, memorizing patrol schedules. A guard questions a boy, receiving practiced innocence. Money moves in stages, hidden in lobes, barrels, hymnals. Every transfer risks exposure, betrayal, and confiscation by authorities. Arrival in former circles meetings, asking helpful questions. The leader confronts him publicly, forcing retreat through shame. Trust fractures, then reforms around fewer names. Another negotiation turns violent when a sheriff arrives unexpectedly. Hands go up. Cash disappears into floor cracks. The sheriff searches bags, finding nothing. Smiling thinly, he warns of fines, jail, and confiscation of property. The group disperses calmly, hearts hammering. A night raid hits a safe house before dawn. Boots pound stairs. Lanterns flay drawers, spill contents a woman blocks. A door, claiming illness, buying seconds. Money vanishes through a hearth. Smoke swallowing evidence. The patrol leaves empty-handed, promising a return. Word spreads fast, tightening time around every plan. They shift locations, rotate messengers, and alter routes nightly. A printer alters receipts, matching demanded forms. Exactly, an alley clerk risks dismissal. Stamping papers after hours. Every favor carries a dead and future danger. The second purchase attempt reaches. A city office uniforms fill the hallway. Eyes trained on nervous petitioners. A clerk calls names slowly, savoring control over waiting bodies. When cold, the buyer steps forward. Papers align perfectly. The clerk frowns, demands additional fees not listed. Coins clink onto the counter. A measured, humiliating sound. A stamp slams down, then pauses, hovering deliberately. Another official interrupts, whispering about audits and compliance. The stamp finally falls, ink spreading authority across paper. The buyer exhales, tense stiffens. As guards approach, outside a crowd gathers, pretending coincidence and commerce a signal passes. Hats tilt, carts roll, routes clear guards. Sitete scanning faces, sensing something organized. The buyer disappears into the crowd, documents secured. Cheers never come, only faster steps. At the plantation, delivery day arrives under heavy watch. The enslaver counts money twice, eyes cold, voice bored. He orders families separated briefly for verification. retaliation. A mother grips a child, knuckles white, refusing movement. A whip cracks nearby, resetting obedience instantly. Papers change hands. Chains loosen, then pause again. An overseer questions. Signatures, threatening reversal. The buyer stands firm, pointing to seals and dates. A tense silence stretches, broken by distant HOOFBEATS. The overseer relents, annoyed, waving them through. They walk away together, not running, not celebrating. Every step risks recall, accusation, or armed pursuit. At a crossroads, allies merge silently, forming protection. A patrol appears ahead, blocking the road deliberately. The leader signals calm, routes shifting on the fly. They divert through fields, mud-swallowing shoes, and dignity. Dogs bark somewhere, closer than comfort allows. The child stumbles, lifted quickly without sound. They reach cover, waiting until breathing slows. No one speaks about the danger just past. Back in town, consequences arrive without warning. The clerk is suspended, questioned, and replaced by a stricter authority. The printer's shop is searched. Presses are sealed temporarily. A notice appears, raising prices across districts immediately. Officials cite order, security, and compliance. Meetings resume with fewer faces and heavier fear. Some argue retreat. Others argue urgency before doors close. The leader listens, then chooses acceleration. They target smaller purchases, faster cycles, higher risk. A timetable emerges, brutal and necessary. Opposition adapts, increasing patrols and surprise inspections. An ally is detained overnight. Release shaken and silent. Rumors of lists circulate. Names marked for scrutiny. Messenger burns notes. After memorizing routes, sleep becomes scarce. Decisions sharpened by exhaustion. Another family waits. Price posted beyond reach. The group debates loans, pooling futures against present danger. A woman pledges her freedom papers as collateral. Silence follows, heavy with irreversible choice. The leader accepts, knowing the risk multiplies. As money moves. A betrayal surfaces without faces. A route is compromised. Guards arrive early. Cash skaters seized this time by authority. Charges are threatened, then withdrawn, then threatened again. The group regathers, diminished, resolve intact but strained. At dusk, the leader watches patrols tighten around familiar streets. He folds the remaining documents carefully, weighing impossible options. A bell rings again, closer now, signaling another crackdown. Footsteps approach the meeting place, measured and deliberate. The door handle turns slowly, testing resistance. Inside, whispers carry over candlelight, plotting next risky moves. A young man counts coins under the watchful eyes of elders. Plans are drawn on scraps, erased swiftly. After each session, child observes, memorizing paths, footsteps, and guard rotations. Fear threads every word, every movement. Every glance exchanged. News arrives of a family seized on the outskirts yesterday. The group debates rescue, weighing chances against violent retaliation. An elder shakes their head slowly, emphasizing timing and patience. They split into pairs, carrying letters, coins, and urgent messages. The town seems quieter, but Dana lurks behind every corner. A patrol stops a messenger near the riverbank, demanding papers. He feigns ignorance, hiding folded notes inside worn coat. The officer inspects, pockets, suspicion etched across his face. Finally, he lets the boy go, shaking his head slowly. Relief mixes with dread. Every step forward carries risk. A family's price is negotiated under the hot midday sun. Overseer counts coins deliberately, eyes scanning for hidden movement. A mother whispers instructions to her children, faces tense. The buyer remains calm, hiding panic behind a composed posture. A signature is demanded. Hands tremble as ink meets paper. Meanwhile, free blacks scout alternative routes for delivery. Carts are rearranged, horses shifted, paths alternated unpredictably. A dog barks, alarms ringing for all within sight. They vanish into alleys, mud clinging. Two boots and hems. The patrol hesitates, uncertain which shadow to pursue first. Back home, consequences continue to pile without warning. The printer's shop is raided, presses dismantled, papers confiscated. Clerks are questioned, some released, others detained overnight. Rumors of betrayal circulate. Trust is measured and scarce. The group, knowing each decision now, carries heavier stakes. Raid interrupts a transaction before coins reach hands. The group scatters, slipping through hidden paths and field edges. Children hide under carts. Elders feign casual passage nearby, boots bound behind them, shouts echoing over rooftops and streets. Finally, they merge safely, silent and breathless, counting losses. Another negotiation begins at the plantation with heightened caution. Overseer eyes every movement, suspicion sharp, fingers tapping desk. Coins slide across counters slowly, measuring tension with each clink. Families are called forward, trembling, standing. Rigid under heat. The buyer gestures subtly, confirming all signatures are intact. Outside, allies track incoming patrols, signaling diversions and detours. A dog lunges at a messenger, narrowly restrained by quick hands. Footsteps pound alleys, and the group adapts routes dynamically. A child whispers names, guiding leaders through familiar shadows. They escape, but fear lingers in every heartbeat and glance. Money continues moving through underground channels, constant and dangerous. Each transaction risks capture or confiscation by authorities. An ally clerk is questioned, forced to lie convincingly under threat. Families wait in anxious silence, eyes flicking toward every sound. Patrols tighten around town, scrutiny escalating with each success. Some routes fail, others succeed barely, leaving lessons harshly learned. The leader recalibrates strategy, avoiding predictable patterns entirely. A smaller transaction proceeds, coins counted in shifting alleys. A young woman carries them tucked in skirts, heart racing. She navigates streets, reading patrol movements like dangerous maps. Betrayals continue subtly, names whispered to authorities anonymously. The group loses an ally to questioning, fear evident in their absence. Yet resilience grows. They adapt, refine timing, and hide intentions. Children learn vigilance. Adults master subtle signaling across crowds. Every step forward carries risk, yet is necessary for freedom. The final family approaches, purchased under dusk's dim light. Overseer eyes them, hands tight around ledger and quill. Coins exchange hands. Tension mounting like taut ropes. Chains loosen, but the group does not relax. Eyes scanning, the leader signals calm. They move quickly, shadows swallowing figures. Patrols emerge unexpectedly. The group scatters strategically, merging later. Mud, sweat, and fear mark every hurried step and turn. Letters are destroyed after reading, leaving only memorized instructions. A child stumbles, but is lifted quietly, avoiding detection. At night, they regroup, tallying successes, losses, and remaining dangers. The clerk is replaced, printing operations curtailed across town. Authorities increase inspections, scrutiny, and subtle harassment. Immediately, rumors circulate, forcing constant vigilance and reassessment of allies. The leader remains calm, adapting strategy, timing, and routes continuously. Every family freed carries a visible cost, both human and tactical. They move silently through alleys, dirt covering hurried footsteps. Patrols follow from a distance, unaware of subtle signals guiding paths. A messenger hands over money, whispered directions, and updated plans. The leader watches, counting risks, anticipating the next confrontation. Dawn promises another day of struggle, resistance, and careful survival. The network tightens, fewer faces, greater stakes, calculated actions. Families are freed incrementally, each requiring courage, precision, and secrecy. Opposition adapts, challenging every movement. Forcing innovative evasions. Children, women, and men play active, strategic roles in operations. The door closes behind them, footsteps fading into uncertain shadows.